Welcome to Who Knows? So today I'm going to share my first impression about American guy who live in America. The American guy I meet in China, they are quite different compared with the guy I meet in America, which is not too difficult to understand because normally the foreigner come to China, most of them quite young, and I think they're more looking for fun or different experience of life, which just makes sense. So you can feel like they are just more, if I have to say, maybe a little bit more playboy or not as serious, and definitely not family time. Okay, so today, the first impression about the American guy I'm going to mention is the people I meet here. They're all my neighbors or my friend, and some of my husband's subscriber, or even some just some random people we meet on the street, in the park, or in the shop, that kind of people. So first I want to talk about is the guy here. They have a lot of hobbies, which is not relative for their job. In China, like my father's generation, they are just really busy with the work, with the job, and because have to support the family, that kind of thing. For their whole life, they're just busy with earning money, that kind of thing. And when they have a spare time, I think they are more enjoy to play mahjong, and meeting some friend, have some drink, some alcohol, baijiu, and just chatting, and that's all. I think my father only stopped to have some hobby when he after retire and get nothing to do, and he just started to learn some shufa, we say, and swimming, that kind of thing. But before he retired, he don't have any hobby at all. But for the young generation these days in China, they are much more better. At least I can see they're going to do some exercise or some small hobby, but compared with the people here, well, there's really so many options and so many hobby they have. Like some friend we meet, some they like music a lot, play music like guitar or different kind of equipment, and some like a printing or bike or car, especially outdoor activity, which is, I think maybe, this is a quite huge difference compared with China. Is the outdoor activity here, it's really a lot, and because we live in California, so you can see a lot of people, young people, or old people. Oh no, not too old for that kind of dangerous exercise, but like a windsurfing, or also like skateboarding, that kind of thing. It's not too much in China because I feel like the parent, they always think the outdoor activity is too dangerous, may hurt you, may like I think they would just worry about will hurt you. And so quite impressed me, like they will spend a lot of time to their spare time will be their hobby. That's a kind of funny thing is I remember first time when Winston training us. He liked to ask what's our hobby. For the doctor, it's quite shame to talk about that because we are too tired with the work for the working day. So at the weekend, really most of the time just sleeping, watch some TV show, and that's all. So I can say even for my own self, I don't really have that much hobby. Maybe I can say none. So it's quite sad. That's why I really want to say I'm quite jealous of the young generation in America because those hobbies, they are not like maybe some people they stop to do that when doesn't matter what years or how old they are, but most of them I think they stop the hobby when they was young in the high school or middle school or primary school. But in China, for the student, they don't have that option because the parent, the family, they want to only focus on study. So, even after school time, they still need to go to some extra math class or English class, or some of them who is lucky, they can go to some, we call it as interesting class, like 兴趣班, like 课外兴趣班, such as like a piano class or, what's that, who wear that mask and then use the sword. What's that called?
Fencing.
Fencing? Okay. And also some this day they're doing that. But the purpose to doing that is not because the children like it or the children want to do that. It's because the parent thing, when they have that kind of hobby, then they can have a higher score to go to the better high school or the better college, that kind of thing. So not because the children like it or enjoy it, which is quite sad because you can't really choose what you want to do, even if something sounds silly or sounds dangerous, Yep. And the second thing, it's I would like to say the guy here, they really like sport quite a lot. Well, maybe because health insurance too expensive. Just joking. It's a good, it's good people think exercise is important because keep themselves healthy, which is for the young generations not surprised. Which is surprised me is, the old people, because the first one before I know I pregnancies, I went to the 24 Fitness Center. I see quite a lot of old guy, which is definitely more than 55 years old, maybe even 60 years old. You can see they're doing same like a strong, like activity exercise, like what I did, like body combat, that kind of class, which is quite surprised me, because in China, even in Shenzhen, I feel Shenzhen already is quite like special. Young, what say, 充满活力, like a very young and full of energy city. Like, but you couldn't find the old generation who would do the exercise in the gym studio, or or the like in fitness center. You only can see those old people. They will play the. What is that? I suddenly forget.
Dancing or Tai Chi?
Tai Chi, yeah. You only will see the old people, they will play the Tai Chi or Guangchangwu, that kind of thing. Or they will just sometimes will use the park equipment to, I don't know, move around, that kind of thing. Like it's not real exercise. Which is quite funny is I remember when, every year when our hospital have some free, like we call annual physical exam for the elder people, like which is more than 60 years old, we will give them free tests, and then we will have some question. When we ask like, okay, how often you will do exercise? They will say, okay, 2 or 3 times, and then we ask, okay, what kind of exercise you do? And they will just say, walk. Well, how long you walk? Half an hour walk. Which is we always just really consider like, is that half an hour walk can consider about exercise? I don't think so, to be honest. Also, that's the big difference compare. And by the way, like in China we have a much more huge population than here, right? But I never see have any gym studio they will full of people. But here, well, maybe like when I went to a few times, it's like a after work hour like that. It's like you barely can find some anti equipment to use because wow, people just like the whole area just really busy. Just that it's really quite impressed me. Yeah, as I have to say. The last but not the least, is that all right? The last not the least, okay. And the last but not the least is about the luckily we have some chance to meet some successful men here, and they quite impressed me. Like they're really humble. First, like about the dress code, you barely can see they wear some luxury brand, like a LV, Gucci, Hermes, that kind of a brand, which is huge different. If in China, doesn't matter my generation, especially my generation, or young generation, they're more crazy about the luxury brand. If you just have some spare money, you don't have to be successful or don't have to be rich. They will just buy a lot of luxury brand, wear them, for the whole outfit. How the logo must be clear to see, like that. Especially like the Hermes belt. I don't know, so many Chinese men, they really like to wear that. Maybe because the logo is really big. But in here, it's really barely can see them wear some, brand thing, and they're really just casual. It's a really casual dress. And if they don't, if you don't talk to them or you don't know them, you couldn't feel they're a success man or rich people or wealthy people. And another point about them is I feel they don't brag. Especially for the older people, they won't in China when you meet some successful man or rich man, they always want to tell you their story, like how hard they worked before, they always want to teach you how to earn money or make money or different kind of thing. They can just non-stop talking for a few hours. But the man here I met, they're really good at listening. I feel like they won't just a non-stop talk about their own stuff. Like they're more humble, just more good at listening. Yeah. Well, that's my first impression of the American guy so far, because I don't have that much chance to meet different people every day. I just want to talk about a little bit my personal thought like that. So I hope you guys won't judge me too much about that. And I hope you learned something today. And see you next time.